Damaged the 2-speed in the jato, so we're gonna pull this engine, get it out of the way. And to start with, you're gonna want a 2mm hex and your 2.5mm hex. First things first, mine may be a little bit different from yours because I don't have the easy start like the jato will be sold with. So I've went pull start. So first things first, you will want to pop your connections off for your starter, just like any connections over here. We want to move this filter so we can see we got the starter linkage. We're going to pop that off. And like I say, if you're still running the easy start, you're going to want to disconnect your starter. Also disconnect your fuel line. And we're going to come here to this exhaust. And that's the first thing we're going to move and get out of the way. You're going to want somewhere nice and neat to store your parts. Okay, now that we got our connections moved over here, we can go ahead and start loosening the engine mount. And I just crack them on the count of, I do tighten them down pretty good, so I don't want to warp or bend anything. And guys, look, don't be afraid to work on your stuff, man. I'm still a beginner. I'm only 3 years in, but I'm fairly good with my hands. I build dirt bikes and ATVs. I repair them as well. So I'm just good at working with my hands. That's what I love to do. I'm not so much the book type. We got one of those still wanting to hold. Actually two. But yeah, man, when you first start doing this stuff, take your time, pay attention to what you're doing, and you shouldn't have any problems. All of this stuff's fairly easy, pretty much common sense. We got our 4 engine mounts loose, so we'll go ahead and, I don't know why, but these engines do not like to just come straight on out. You kind of want to tilt and rock. Maybe even give the spur just a little spin, and you'll free up that engine. Okay, I kept the RPM sensor for spacing, as well as the original metal spacing over there. And something just to note that I do, because I really have big hands and it's hard to get down in these little tight spots, so I actually do put super glue on this spacer, and then I'll lock my engine down for just a few seconds or a minute, long enough for the glue to dry. And that way, you know, working on the car, doing things, you know, sometimes you can be in a rush, or something like that. So you will drop that little spacer, you will lose it, and your engine mesh will not mesh properly. Your engine will sit cock-sided. You'll have issues. So with that being said, we got our engine out. I really was only going to do a video on getting the engine out, but you know, with what we got going here, that was so simple. We're just going to keep going. So I do want to check on this engine and see what it looks like, at least from the top side. Just to look down in my cylinder, because I did do a little bit of modification to the sleeve and the crankshaft as well. But I'm not too proud of the work on the crankshaft, so we're not going to show that. We'll show that at a later time. After we get good results, we'll show you guys. You don't have to be any kind of pro to do this stuff, or to make modifications, or to go faster. And don't get me wrong, I've screwed up engines in the past trying to get them to go faster or make them better, and you know, you just really want to know what you're doing before you start doing that kind of stuff. And we'll just crack these at a little cross pattern. Like I say, we don't want to warp anything or anything like that. This is just aluminum, so it's not like we're working on big old cast blocks, 454s and stuff. Keep it simple, nothing crazy. Some of the most simplest engines I've ever looked inside of or worked on. Okay. Head fairly clean. Engine's got maybe a gallon on it. After break-in, I did new bearings and stuff. I maybe should have done a video on that, but I'm not too big on the camera type personality, so it took a little bit of thinking just to decide if I wanted to do this video or not. But as far as what I see in here, I'm liking it so far. We got a very good bronze color. That means we're good and lubricated. That's nothing but like oil residues and things like that. Now, if you pull your engine and you're getting some blackening and things like that, or even, you know, any kind of maybe a ashy look, you know, you want to check on what's going on, because you're definitely getting too hot. But that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. 3.3 is still pretty clean, like I say, maybe close to a gallon on it. But like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, man. I haven't ever really asked anyone to do that. I just do this for fun, but I kind of want to get some things going this year and get some content rolling, man. So I'm trying a little bit different of a video. If you guys want to see me pull that 2-speed out of there and show you guys how to fix those busted transmissions,